Welcome to the 7th round of the Super GT300 Online Championship. This is Carsten talking. Today's race is at Apricot Hill. Weather is lightly cloudy. We have a new driver on the grid. He's in third position and is driving Subaru Impreza. Is Rafael. Pole was a matter of Carsten and Robert. Robert managed to snatch it by a few thousandths of a second. In third position was Rafael, as already said, and fourth Hodds, that managed a very impressive lap. First lap in the night, everything going smooth. Carsten following Robert. Behind them there's Rafael, Odds, TNT. Logic line quite back in the grid because it started with the hard tires. Here Robert and Carsten approaching the higher pin. Robert had a bad acceleration out of it. Carsten on the outside seems to manage to pass him, approaching the last turns before the chicane, and Carsten is in front, snatching first position, first lap. This is one of the best plays for closing in on the gap. Long stride, not very good for passing at the end of it, but still a good chance to get close. TNT is trying to attack Rafael, really close. Hecke managed to pass Oswells. TNT really close to Rafael, quite aggressive behind him. Outdrafting Hecke. This is one of the best plays for a pass, if you can outbrake your opponent, but not this lap. At the end of lap 2, this is Logic line that was the backmarker right now and being attacked by Skeng. Skeng had a massive power penalty. Logic line instead had a different strategy. Here Skeng manages to have a better out of the turn, but his power penalty won't let him get rid of Logic. Quite a big battle between Hecke, Odds and Rafael for third, fourth and fifth place. Hecke touching the grass, Rafael going a little too rough on the inside and losing 2 positions. On lap 15 it's already daylight now. Logic and TNT are fighting. TNT lost many positions due to some driving mistakes. Logic is starting to somehow getting higher on the classifics thanks to his harder tire. He was planning to do less, and here TNT touching the grass and going out. On lap 22 we have Logic, Robert and Carsten fighting. Here Logic was on old tires, it was starting to rain. Carsten was really aggressive behind him, trying to not allow Robert to take both positions. Carsten is really close to Logic, almost touching. At the end of this turn there's a small stride and then the best chance for a pass. Carsten and Logic side by side. Logic has a little power advantage over Carsten, 10 HP, 10 horsepower. Let's see, and Carsten goes to the inside and yes, he has a better acceleration out and manages to pass. Now it's Robert's turn to try and pass Logic. Ooh, a little wide Logic there. side by side with Robert. Logic drafting Robert. Will he manage to get his position back? It seems so. Goes for the inside. And yes, he manages to outbrake Robert and keep his position. Now lap 29, Robert and Carsten are fighting. Now the rain is starting to get really heavy. Carsten is trying to put some pressure over Robert. Such rain was completely unexpected by the weather forecast, as it always happens in this series actually. Approaching first turn, Carsten taking a wider, rounder line, and Robert loses his car and Carsten passes him. Right now Carsten was in first position. A few laps later there's a battle between Odds and Carsten. Odds and Skeng, the best driver around, no doubt, have their chance to shine on the rain. And here Carsten is trying to keep his position, but Odds is way faster. Nothing to do. Odds flees away and Carsten stays there in second position. On lap 46th, after a really long race, Skeng manages to get behind Carsten and trying to snatch his second position. Skeng seems quite faster all around the turns, but Carsten tries to make the most out of his Lexus torque, especially out of slow corners. Here Skeng takes a shorter line, going side by side, approaching the small stride before the hairpin. Let's see what will happen. Water everywhere. Carsten goes for the inside. Skeng takes the outside. Skeng is a little wide. Carsten goes really tight. Side by side again, a little touch. Carsten tries to outgun Skeng with his horsepowers, and yes, it seems that he managed, yes, a good breaking point, manages to keep him safe from Skeng attacks. But it's not handled like this. This battle will go on for something like 14 laps. On lap 52 we have a Logic parked dangerously around the track. Skeng trying again to push on Carsten, and he loses the car. Skeng in third position loses his car, and it is Odds, one lap to the end, almost losing his car. Even Odds and Skeng had their problems in this race. There's rain for everybody. Those two are monsters, but so Odds was first, second Carsten, third Skeng, we can see here. In fourth position, a great debut for Rafael. With his all-wheel drive Subaru, he had a good race. And what about the others, you are asking? Well, it seems that the others were or either parked along the track badly like Logic did, or taking some tea or coffee in the pits. So this is all from Carsten. Next week will be Nürburgring.